So, some of you guys, what I'm about to say is confirmation because I feel like intuitively some of you guys already know this. There is a mother wound that needs healing. For some of you, as a child, some of you may have used to shake your leg or shake your arm, used to shake something growing up as a kid. And I don't know if this is out of nervousness or just out of habit, but there is a mother wound, okay, that needs healing. For some of you, you may not have received the mother that you needed growing up, okay? Maybe she worked a lot. For some of you, the reason why your mom was unable to be the mother that you needed her to be was because she was in her masculine energy, okay? Um, there was a sense of her having to wear all the hats. She had to be the mom and the dad in the household. And that didn't allow her much time to be in her feminine energy. Okay, you can't blame her for having to play the role of mom and dad. Okay, she did the best she could. And I wish a lot of people could see that. See, they rather blame the parent that was actually there for them than to blame the parent that wasn't. I don't know who it struck a nerve in somebody just now. But you need to be blaming the parent that wasn't there. Not the one that was there. That chose to struggle, that chose to make sure you had food on the table, that chose to sit there and work them 2 and 3 jobs to make sure you had what you needed. She may not have been able to give you everything that you wanted, but she damn sure gave you everything that you needed, that she could provide for you, but maybe she wasn't there emotionally all the time. She couldn't. She had to work. She couldn't afford to cry. She couldn't even afford to feel her own feelings, let alone yours. Because that would have just got in the way of her logic of her making that money so that she could keep a roof over your head and clothes on your back and food on the table. And technically, when you get to a certain point in life, you can't blame your parents for your decision making anymore. Because you can always choose to heal even though you aren't the root cause of why you needed to heal in the first place. For some of you, you've been searching and searching and searching for something. And what you're looking for is looking right back at you in the mirror. For some of you, your inner child has been screaming out to you lately. Because what you have to understand, once you become an adult, you become your parent now. You become your mom. You become your dad. And if your adolescent self, your inner child, is screaming for stability and security, guess what? You're going to have to go and get it and make it happen. If your inner child, your adolescent self, is screaming for attention, then you give it the attention that it needs. If your inner child is asking you to color in a coloring book, go get you an adult coloring book. I won't even laugh at you if you go get you a comic book or a Hello Kitty book. Whatever your inner child may want to experience, allow them to experience it, especially if you weren't able or could afford to experience it when you were a child. Give that gift to yourself. It makes a ton of difference. Yeah, you might be vegan, but guess what? Your inner child wants some, I just heard honey bunches of oats. I ain't gonna lie, on the low, that cereal was hitting it. Especially when we ain't had no other cereal to eat. The honey bunches of oats and them Frosted Flakes, they was hitting. Captain Crunch, hitting. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, hitting. Smacks, hitting. The one with the little frog, that's Smacks. I like that one. Lucky Charms, all of that. Okay? Sometimes your inner child may need it. Just to be like, Dag, this is good. This is good. Doesn't mean you go and sit there and eat it all the time. But no, you treat yourself. Go on and get the little mini traveling size bag. Don't go on and get the box where you over there eating it every day now. Go get the little one so you get a bowl or two and call it quits, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Because I feel like you're searching for this love. You're searching, and yeah, you should have gotten it from your mom and even from your dad. But unfortunately, you weren't able to get it. You know, those weren't the cards that were dealt to you, okay? They sure enough wasn't dealt to me either. And I can speak from experience. I didn't grow up with my mom, okay? Not my biological mom, okay? But I did have women in my life, like my stepmother and my aunts, that showed me different versions of what women could be, okay? And then I pieced together the type of woman that I wanted to be based off of what I experienced with the women in my family, okay? But over time, I had to forgive my mom. For a long time, I used to be so angry that she left me. And it wasn't by choice. She didn't choose to get murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't choose to leave her 1-year-old child. But growing up, I still had that anger in my heart that she was gone. And throughout my journey of healing, I had to learn to forgive her. Because some of the things that our parents went through, you got to remember too, our parents are human beings too. They went through stuff before you were even born. They went through traumas and trials and tribulations before we were even a thought. And then on top of it, had us. And had to wing it. So it's like, give them some grace, especially if they're still alive. And even with them being deceased, give them that grace though. Because how you feel inside about life, guess what? They felt that way on top of having kids. So give them some grace. And give yourself some grace too. Okay? I feel like for some of you, you really need to go have some fun. Some of you really need to go have some fun. Go to a comedy show. Go do something fun. Because there is something there's a lesson that you still have not learned yet. Excuse me. And it's going to take courage for you to open it up and expose it. This could be something that you're holding on to that happened to you as a child. Maybe you felt like your mom or your dad should have been there for you. Heavy on the mom energy. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've been manifesting this healing. You've been wanting this healing. But there's a leap, again, the energy of having courage and taking a leap of faith. Some of you, this is a conversation. There's a need for change. There's a need for you to let the old you die. For some of you, you are hiding how much love you have for someone. Like you really, yeah. For some of you, as a teenager, especially my females here, you manifested something in your life, but you haven't completed it yet. And it feels more like you manifested to end a cycle, heal something within you. There's something that you've always wanted to do when you were a teenager and you just haven't done it yet. And Spirit's like, when are you going to do it? This is going to feed your adolescent self. Your adolescent self has been crying out to you. You need to dig deep and find out what it was that you wanted to do that somebody talked you out of, and you need to go and fulfill that dream. For others of you, Spirit has been communicating with you about this ego of yours that you need to let go of. And you having the courage to really communicate how you feel about things, to really sit there and change for the better. There may be something from your past that you still love, but you haven't had the courage to get back to it. And you may need to have that conversation and get back to it.